Let's talk about various wage plans. Now, what are wage plans? Planning for the wages. So, what is the various ways one employer can pay their employees? Now, to increase a worker's earning without dragging the firm into higher wage rate structure, regardless of the productivity. So, that is also the aim when we are drawing up wage plans, that it should increase the worker's earning, but on the other hand, also should not increase the wage bill, I would say, for the employer. So typically what is being done, we are trying that using these kind of wage plans, we use some kind of incentive as it is a useful tool for securing a better utilization of the manpower. How? It is basically trying to focus on the fact that you as an employer need to increase the productivity of the organization as a whole, while on the other hand keeping the costs regarding the wages to the optimum level. So one simple way of increasing productivity will be can be that if you say that I at the current rate, if X amount of units are being produced by an organization by, let's say, Y employees. So let's say I want to increase it to 2x, and a simple formula could be that okay, double the employees as well. So doubling their employees will definitely ensure that you are doubling your product rate as well, or productivity as well. But the fact is that when you double up the manpower, the costs of the employer also goes up. They also double up. So through wage plans, what is being ensured that the costs remain economical or optimal, while the productivity goes up, and also the workers are also gaining in some way. So that is what I would say effective wage plan is all about. And how is it achieved? It is achieved through various plans. It could be basis piece rate, it could be basis the time, it could be based on the incentives. Now, piece rates, as the name goes, is simply that the number of unit being produced, the person or the employee is given wages as per that. So the more you produce, the more wages you get. It is as simple as that. Time plan, that okay, you are given a certain task, or let's say number of units to be produced in certain time, and again it would be that if you save time, you are able to produce more and you get a kind of some kind of reward, because doing some work which is otherwise done, let's say, in 8 hours, but an effective employee or a good performer completes it within 5 hours. So that means those extra 3 hours he can utilize to produce more, or otherwise he has that time, because he's getting the same salary or the same wage, I would say, what he would have got in those 8 hours, but now that he's completed his work within 5. So those remaining 3 hours again is something which the employee is gaining, and he has the option to work more on those 3 hours and earn more. So this is what a time plan is. Now incentives, there are various ways. Again, the employees can be motivated, and they can be engaged, like they can be given some extra pay based on their merit, which is merit pay. The profits could be shared, the gains could be shared. It is almost the same thing, different names. And rewards could be there on certain achievement levels. And then of course there is a bonus. So we will be talking about all these things in detail in the following slides. Now, what are the requirements of this sound benefit program? So, if we are trying to make some kind of incentive wage plan, or what is the requirement? First of all, we need to have a strategic benefit planning. That what is it that we are gaining out of it? So, definitely, as I was talking about, keeping the costs of the wage to an optimum level. So the moment we do that, it is giving some kind of advantage to the organization. And also, if the organization wants to grow, how would that incentive plan be helpful in that particular goal of the organization? So that is this benefits planning. Whenever we are talking of any kind of wage plan, it has to be in sync with the strategic planning of the overall organization, allowing for involvement. Something, if an employee also is willing to do or try out, is the most effective thing. So it becomes a very democratic process. So if the benefit program or this wage plan has to succeed, it needs to be accepted by the employees as well. The reason being, in the employee has to work, the employee has to put in more effort, the employee has to feel motivated. So if the employee is involved in this whole process and he understands clearly what is in it for him, as an employee? What is it that he is gaining? He should not feel cheated that I am supposed to work more, but whatever I'm getting in return is not optimum or not to that kind of scale. Then I don't think employee will be willing to go out and do more. So it needs that, this plan should be evolved and made and implemented throughout with the employee involvement at every stage. Benefit for a diverse workforce. It should not have any sort of discrimination between that. Okay, it could be basis religion, it could be basis gender, or any age. It should be totally made in a professional manner, where all the diversity uh, issue cannot be considered while you are implementing a benefit program or an incentive plan. It is purely based on the performance. So any employee, irrespective of whatever background or whatever orientation the employee is from, he or she should get equal benefit. So this kind of benefit program needs to be all inclusive, and it should be giving equal treatment to anybody who is reaching that performance level. Providing for flexibility. If the plans needs to be dynamic, they need to be flexible. Any changes required at any point of time, it should be an easy process, and it should not be a complex thing that any change or any environmental change makes it a major hurdle, and we are not as employers able to change it. So it should have that sort of uh, built-in feature that it provides for certain flexibility within that plan. Then, last but not least, communicating employee benefits information. A good communication system needs to be in place for this kind of benefit or incentive program to work. Because, as I said, if the employees are involved, first of all, and this transparency is there with the employees, that whatever is being done is going to be a win win situation for all concerned. So, if this sort of message doesn't go across to the employees all across, then even if it is a very good incentive program or a wage plan, it might fail. Typically, what happens in manufacturing concerns, the trade unions are involved. Trade unions are negotiating with management on such issues. And if that sort of thing is not done in a clear manner and in a transparent manner, and whatever is the outcome is not explained properly to the employees, it can backfire. So, communicating employee benefits information becomes also an important aspect and a requirement for a good incentive plan to be in place. Now, we're talking of good incentive plans. What are the elements which will make a good wage plan? First of all, it should be simple to understand, because as we are dealing with the unskilled labor, that is what wage plans we are talking about. So, when we are talking of unskilled or semi skilled kind of labor, we need to make sure that whatever plan is there, they can easily comprehend it. Because we can come out with complex plan, we can easily use computer softwares and calculate the salaries and the incentives, but for them to keep a track of it, it needs to be simple, so that people know that what they work for and what kind of outcome it will have for them. It should be just and equitable. It should be fair to all the workers, irrespective of whatever background. As I said, if they're working at a particular level and performing at a certain set standards, it should be applicable that everybody should be getting the similar kind of wage or reward. Attraction for worker. Whatever is the wage plan which is being devised, it should be attractive enough for any employee to go for it. I mean, as I said, if my efforts as an employee are not being equated by the kind of compensation which is there in that plan, I will not be attracted to go and take up that sort of work. So it should be something that I am motivated to work for. It should be attractive for the workers. Attainable standards. Now, whatever is the wage plan, a good wage plan will have certain goals or targets which are attainable. It should have certain attainable standards so that everybody is motivated to go and achieve those standards. It should be conducive to health. Again, if we are making some kind of wage plan, a good wage plan would not want to compromise the health of the worker. That to okay get more money, one should definitely work more, but it not should be that the employee is supposed to or is forced to risk his health to attain those goals, right? So it should be conducive to health of the employees. Willingness of the worker, that the employees or the workers should be willing to accept and go for it. That kind of plan has to be. So that will mean that the workers are involved in the not just conceptualization and development of that wage plan, and also the implementation would become easier. Clarity of objectives. It is linked to the first point, simple to understand. So if the objective behind the whole wage plan or the incentive is made clear, it is done in a very simple term that this is what you get if you achieve this much. So it should have clarity of objectives. The moment there is any ambiguity around the objectives, it can lead to confusion, and it can have an exactly an opposite effect, that it might, instead of motivating, demotivate the workers. Incentive for quantity and quality. So initially, when these incentive plans were being devised and implemented, people used to just go in for quantity because the goals were all about numbers, that okay, double the productivity, double or triple what you're doing. So these kind of things compromised on the quality of the product as well. So now a good wage plan will incorporate both the quantity and the quality aspects as well. And the incentives will be that once the employee achieves the quantity as well as a desired quality, only then he'll be eligible for that sort of reward or incentive. Standardization, that certain each level or each kind of standard of performance will get a certain outcome. That thing is standardized across the organization. A good wage plan will ensure that if there is any discrepancy, or it can be changed by any person who is willing to give favors for some few selected few, then it will not be a good wage plan. It can impact negatively. So there has to be a standardization all across the levels. Workers incentive earnings has to be built in that wage plan, that how does the basic earnings and impact get impacted if the worker is getting or putting in more effort. So the workers incentive earnings are a separate thing, whereas the basic guaranteed wage is a separate thing, and a good wage plan merges both these things together in a clear way, in a kind of simple way, so that every employee understands. Intimation of efficiency. Efficiency means that a person produces the required number, and even I would say surpass the requirement number. So what is that level, what is that standard which we are expecting the employee to perform on? So the moment the employee performs beyond the standard expected, that is what efficiency is all about. So this intimation of efficiencies means the benchmarks, the standards have to be communicated, and the good wage plan will ensure that the employees are aware of that surpassing those standards will give them certain returns, and right to change the standards as well. So a good wage plan can have that sort of flexibility, that whenever required, because there are so many internal and external factors. Now you can take the current example of lockdown and stuff. So then this standards could be changed, and in a way, again, see, the focus is that it is a win-win situation for both the employee and the employer. So with this sort of lockdown situation, the employer should also not suffer, and the employee should not also suffer as far as a wage plan is concerned. So those standards, which might have been much higher in the normal days, could be flexible or could be changed to something, so that the both parties have not that kind of negative impact, I would say. So this is a sort of thing, for any good wage plan to be incorporated, we need to take care of these few points. Let me know if you have any queries. Stay tuned for more content.